When I hear people accusing the Jewish people of outrageous libels, claims so absurd that they defy logic, my instinct is to respond, to engage, to correct the record, to fight back with facts. After all, isn't that the right thing to do? But this impulse reminds me of the story of Chava, Eve, in the Garden of Eden that we read in this week's parsha. When the serpent approached her with a distorted version of God's command, saying, "Did God really say you can't eat from any tree in the garden?" She responded, she corrected him. She clarified that they were only forbidden from eating from one specific tree, the Eitz Hadas, and in doing so, she tried to dispel the lie. But here's the deeper insight. The serpent wasn't seeking truth. He was setting her up for a trap. He wanted her to engage. He wanted her to get defensive. And once she did, he had her exactly where he wanted her. This tactic is ancient, and it's still being used today. Just last week, I was walking home from shul with my children. My son, being a typical hungry 7-year-old child, after davening and after the kiddush. On our way home, he shouts, "I'm starving." A moment later, a woman who was trailing behind us comes up to us and begins to accuse us of forcibly starving others. She twisted my child's innocent words into a grotesque accusation. Her chutzpah knew no bounds. She even turned to my children and told them not to listen to their parents when they grow up, but to read and get an education on their own, as if our values and teachings were something to be discarded. I was stunned, not just by the hatred, but by the strategy. She wanted me on the defensive. She wanted me to deny. She wanted to bait me into a conversation where she controlled the narrative. It's a trap. When we respond to the outrageous, we often end up defending ourselves against something that never deserved a platform in the first place. We get pulled into a game where the rules are rigged, where truth is irrelevant, and where our very act of denial is twisted into guilt. The goal isn't dialogue, it's entrapment. There's a time to speak and there's a time to remain silent. Our sages teach us that wisdom lies in knowing the difference. Not every accusation deserves a response. Not every lie needs to be dignified with a rebuttal. Sometimes, engaging only gives oxygen to the fire. But don't think that silence means that we give in. It means choosing our battles wisely. It means building up our own communities with strength and pride. Anan Paula Diamama Anan. We are day laborers. We work with light. It means educating ourselves and others so that when the time does come to speak, we do so with clarity, with confidence, and with purpose. And what better time to make that commitment than now? We've just begun the Torah anew, Bereshis. This week, Genesis chapter 1, verse 1. A fresh start, a fresh cycle. The world's greatest bestsellers once again open before us. And yet how many of us truly know what's written inside of it? We are called the people of the book, but too often we outsource our understanding. We rely on headlines, on hearsay, on others to tell us what our own tradition says. Now is the time for resolution, not just to read the Torah, but to study it, to engage with it, to wrestle with its wisdom, and to let it shape our lives. Because when we know our story, we're less vulnerable to those who try to rewrite it. And this week, we've seen another great chapter in Jewish history unfold. All of the living hostages came home. The pain of their captivity and the joy of their return. It reminds us that our people are not just a headline. We're flesh and blood. We're families, children and parents, siblings. And we're bound together by a shared history, a shared destiny, and a shared book. So here's the call to action, my friends. Let's not be baited into every argument. Let's not allow our energy to be drained by those who seek only to provoke. Instead, let us invest in truth. Let us strengthen Jewish identity, deepen our knowledge, and support one another with love and with resilience. Let us make this year the year we truly become the people of the book. Let us open the Torah not just with our eyes, but with our hearts. Let us build institutions that stand tall in the face of slander. Let us be a people who know who we are so deeply that no lie can shake us. Because the serpent still does speak, but we no longer need to answer. I wish you a good Shabbos, and I look forward to another year of great discussions and in-depth analysis of our Torah.